is, I think it's safe to say that Mako has made it back with the kebabs for dear Lucy Scales, our dragonborn kind woman in the hospital that Miss Kitasha has been apparently pretty good friends with.
No one can rotate like Lucy Scales.
It's true. So you were about to start asking Lucy about some of the things that she experienced that led her to be in the hospital. And we'll see if I can remember her voice.
Yep.
Was all three of us in the room at the same? Are we all with her, or is it just you?
It had been Joe and Kitasha, and Mako was running back with some kebabs.
Okay.
Some good food.
Yeah, good food because they only had like Jello.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only jellied eels.
Yeah.
Quite sad. I'm trying to remember what I asked her because I definitely did not take notes of what I asked her.
We did not get to any of the actual information. We basically did some world building about Lucy Scales. So, you know that she's doing very well for herself. She works for she has a single patron now that she services. And she had been heading home late the other night, a couple nights ago now, when she was attacked by this Spring-Heeled Jack fellow.
Okay.
Would you be able to tell us a little more, maybe a visual description or something more about this Jack?
Well, I was coming back. It was rather late. He looked. It was really hard to tell. I think he was wearing some form of mask, but I thought I could see some horns off the top of his head. But to be honest, it was really dark, and then he started spitting out blue flames, and I started having a fit of some sort and collapsed. Luckily, Abigail here heard me yell because I was pretty close to our home, and she came out and scared him off. But I think he had horns and maybe a tail, like a thin tail.
Okay. Do you normally work? Does your patron normally have you work late?
Oh, usually. It's all sorts of hours that he calls on me to come out and help. But yeah, this was just a normal time for me to be coming back home. It's never happened before.
You said you collapsed or something when he spat out blue flame.
Yes.
Did you feel that you were under the influence of any type of spell, or was it just more pure shock?
No, I don't think it was a spell. I certainly didn't have quite. The doctor said something about it. I was kind of thrown into a seizing fit from it. Does anyone want to roll a medical check to realize what happened to poor Lucy Scales?
Oh, the intelligence-based skill? Let's take a look here. What a great wisdom. Cool. Awesome. I got a +3. I'll go take a gander first roll of the night. Oh shit. Sorry, Craig. It was almost a 16 on the die, and then it changed to 8. So that's a total of 11.
All right. Well,
Sorry,
Mako
Craig.
here. Mako will figure out from, there was a bit of medical training for the military as well. It seems that Miss Lucy Scales here had been thrown into an epileptic fit from the bright flames being so close to her face.
Oh.
Mm.
That's at least
Okay, so
from
I'll ask. I'll ask her. Have you ever experienced anything like that kind of before? Anything like that kind of episode?
Not for a long time. I did have something like that when I was in my beginning phases of my career. We had quite a bit of different prestidigitation that was light based that were kind of being used throughout the event, and it did send me into a bit of a fit then. So I didn't usually have problems with fire, but I think maybe because it was so close to me and it was such a bright blue color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I do an Arcana check? The thing I'm very famously good at.
Sure.
See if this rings any bells. No. Absolutely not.
You think it sounds like a pretty good parlor trick.
It does.
I think somebody
Should
epilepsy.
probably incorporate, like, Kitasha is, like, very concerned, but in her brain is like, blue is a really cool color. I should probably start incorporating that into my future antics.
Yeah. Lucy will look to the side. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I had more information. It was just, I think, if I can remember correctly, I think the skin tone that I could kind of see through the flames, I think it might have been reddish. But it's hard to tell because it was so dim, and then the blue light. He wore a pretty big cloak, I think. And yeah, that's about all I can remember of him.
Hmm.
Can you think of anyone who might wish harm upon you? Do you think this was targeted or random?
I mean, he didn't really do anything to me other than cause that fit. I think I might have startled him. Yeah. I've heard that a couple other people have seen this figure. But I don't think there's anyone who's been displeased with me that I can think of.
Okay.
And I'm so sorry, Lucy. Did you say where you were attacked?
Oh, it was in the
Was it
High-End
down on?
district.
Was it on?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Was it by Bowden Street? I remember you really liked going there.
That might be right. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I was heading home because it's I've been living, kind of more in the North End recently. Just with the better payout, but yeah, I think I was pretty close to there. hard for me to remember. I'm sorry. It was a very stressful night.
No, that's okay. I remembered how much you loved seeing the ducks when we would get off at the same time down on Bowden Street, so
Oh, the ducks. The ducks were so lovely.
okay. Well,
Mm.
we at least kind of know around the area. And Mako has returned, right?
Yeah,
No?
Mako's back.
Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if we actually established this or not.
Mako's still standing there with kebabs.
That's what I was assuming. And Kitasha will assist Mako with distributing in the kebabs.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, if I get thank you for it. Oh, so much better than this hospital food. If I can remember anything else, I'll let you know. But yeah, I think yeah, blue flames is the main thing I could remember. It was odd. It was blue flames. Yeah, long horns and a long skinny tail. If that description helps you much.
Does blue
I think it
flames
does.
ring a bell with anyone here? Like, is there any obvious link to any deity or magic type?
I mean, if you burn salty wood, it turns green, which is true. This is true. If you burn driftwood that is still very salty, the fire will be green. Anyway, it'll be green, but it seems really cool.
Did I do a history check
I
to
don't
see
know
if
what kind.
I remember anything similar to this, like any notes of specifically blue flame, or if that particular description matches anything?
Yeah. Do you want to give? I'm trying to think. Maybe like a history check.
I can do history. That's a 15. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a tactical assessment. Add a D8 to that. Yeah, it's a 19 total.
All right. So you do recall that some of the different people you worked with throughout the military would sometimes use weapons that used flames in them and fire.
Mhm.
And there were a handful of people that really liked customizing whatever it was. And if you remember correctly, when you add carbon into a fuel source, you tend to get a more blue flame.
Okay.
But you can't think of any specific specific
And
details of like how they.
is it usually purely cosmetic, or is there a mechanical advantage?
It's purely cosmetic. Yeah, it was just, some of the rookies really wanted to be cool looking and have some nice blue flames.
And it is pretty cool.
So, yeah, I'll relay that to the group that we're looking for someone showing off, not necessarily someone. The flame itself isn't special, other than the person to show off.
Do you think that whoever's doing this is then a performer or some sort of actor, just trying to scare people for some stunt?
It sounds like it sounds like they weren't even intending to hurt anybody. They were kind of just were. If they were just startled, then that was kind of just like like an escape. But like, what do we know about the other like reports and sightings of this thing?
Well, you haven't actually talked to the other two people yet. There are two more victims that were listed. There was Mary Stevens and Jane Alsop. But yeah, until you think the description mentioned something of theft. We're just gonna say that word. Something about theft, but you're not entirely sure. The details on the report weren't as detailed, but you do have the addresses of the other two women that you can go speak to.
Yeah, we should probably go ahead and do that. But
Oh, and that it leapt from the ground to rooftops with ease.
Yeah.
now that's part of the thing that's confusing me a bit is because red skin, tail. I don't know of another species other than Herringon like myself that can perform those kind of jumps. If I don't know what's described, but if it is a leap, then I don't know another species capable of that.
Tasha, I don't think we should rule out Mako at this point as a suspect. Just don't act normal, but just say it all adds up. And by it all adds up, I mean specifically the jumping and nothing else. But we shouldn't rule it out.
Tasha is going to look from Joe to Mako and look really hard at the top of Mako's head and lean back down to Joe.
Okay.
That's kind of a big thing, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Also, the thing had like red skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mako's kind of not red.
Yeah,
That we know of.
I think my eyes might be red because I think I decided I was an albino white dwarf rabbit.
Yep,
so
that's true.
my eyes are red.
Yeah, I mean, Mako's gonna, or not Mako, Kitasha was gonna respond to Joe saying like, we don't know if she's not red, but
You can confirm.
because Kitasha has seen Mako naked, and there's not much to hide. So instead, Kitasha just kind of like does a and just kinda
I suppose
walks away. Question: did we walk past the augmenting store earlier today, or
You
was
guys
that way earlier?
when did you do that? Oh man, have you guys gone there yet? Actually, because I think you guys briefly talked about it, but I don't think you ever actually went to it.
I don't think
We've walked past it.
Yeah, because the building is right. So the center of town where the guild is, you have the guild, the main military headquarters, and then you have the augmentation shop.
Okay. Because we definitely walked by it, and someone had asked if anyone in the group was willing to get augmented. I remember that conversation. So Kitasha's gonna think a little bit and say, when you get augmented, can you make it so you can jump really high?
I'd say it's probable. Doesn't seem like an impossible thing for a good mechanic to fix up.
I wonder I wonder if that's what is going on. If it's just someone who has the means to act out.
The
It would be
Fae.
really fun to jump around. It would be really fun to jump around buildings, though. That sounds really
Is there only like how many different like vendors in town do augments?
So the big augmentation building that is in the center of town has like probably 15 or so shops in it that like specialize in that, but it's more like 15 individuals that will go through and do your augmentation that have been certified to do this. Because the thing is with augmentation, as Mako would probably know from, there's plenty of people in the military with it, they are surgically removing whatever they're augmenting to give you a mechanical attachment. So whether that be a new arm, a new leg, a new eye, it is a medical procedure then mixed in with the mechanical bits. So there's only Dragonrook is a pretty big city, so you've got about 15. Other places would maybe have 1 to 2 shops.
It might be worth looking into. Trying to decide. I kind of think about it, like we probably wouldn't be able to get any customer information from the actual vendors because that's a privacy issue, and they probably wouldn't be able to be chill with that. But maybe we could ask them like if those kind of augments are common or like to what extent augments could do this, and then we could either rule that out or look for that more specifically.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Maybe after we talk to the other 2 victims.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might know something. Who knows? This Spring Hill Jack might not even have horns or a tail.
It might not even be called Jack.
Might not even be called Jack. Could be something very different.
Like Mako. Alright. I think if we go thank you, Lucy, you've been very helpful. Sorry, we've just been discussing at the foot of your
I
bed
assumed
here.
we had exited the room, but this makes sense.
You might have just huddled in the corner. Lucy's just over there eating kebabs, like, oh, yes, of course. No worries at all. I really hope you can find this guy before he does more like this. You never know, if sometimes these people get. I'm turning Wisconsin. Sometimes these
Don't
people.
you know some of these people
Don't you
here?
know? It could start out as simple fun, but then it might turn to something much worse. I'd much rather them be caught and spoken to and have this all figured out. I'm definitely sure Kitasha here has it handled with your group. She's always been so great at all these sort of things. We have to go shopping for some dresses sometime, Kitasha.
We do. We really do. That little shop just got replaced, and now we have to find a new spot.
I know, it's... Ugh. Things come and go in this town so quickly. But that is change, isn't it?
Oh well. Anyway, are you 2 ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. All right. Well, do either of you have a preference?
So who we see next?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we have a ton of information about either, so I suppose we could just go in the order they were presented. So if we could try and track down Mary Stevens next.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Yeah.
see if we can find her.
All
Did we hear
right,
that she
for
was still
Mary.
in the hospital? Sorry, or was this was she outside?
So you do know this from the paper. Lucy Scales was the only one in the hospital
Mhm.
due to her epileptic fits, you assume. The other two seem to have returned to their homes and their work. For Mary Stevens, there is both a home address and a work address. Both are in the high-end northern side of town. Pretty close to where Lucy was talking to Kitasha about where they used to go.
All right.
Yeah, so you have both her home address, and then she works at what appears to be a small cafe called... Oh, yes. Crab's Claw.
Nice.
For Jane Alsop, it is just a home address.
Okay, here's a question. If you're going to be interrupted by three strangers asking you questions, would you prefer that to be at your home or at your work?
Probably work.
Okay.
Yeah, you get paid for it.
All right.
Apologies for my camera. This is fine. Everything is fine, don't worry. This is fine. Everything is falling apart. This is fine. Okay. This will work now.
All right, let's head for that cafe, I suppose, for the crab's claw.
Alrighty. I believe, does anyone remember what your thrycreen that drove you here looked like?
It's been like a month.
It wasn't another jewel beetle, was it?
Was
It might have been.
they're doing?
Can it be a rhinoceros beetle? Can it be a rhino beetle whose proboscis is just sticking out the windshield?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is a rhino beetle. You realize that your thrycreen has gone on break, so a new thrycreen has come out to take over his position. So you can walk out to the car and give him the details for your next location.
Right, to the crab's claw cafe.
Right, y'all get into there, speeds off like a bat out of hell, and just takes off down the road. It doesn't take you super long to get there because this hospital was also in the northern end of town.
Mm-hmm.
And you pull up to this cute little shop. It's got a metal engraved slab outside that's hanging, swinging, that's made to look like a little detached crab claw. It's got big bay windows, and you can see inside several people sat at tables and a couple of women in frilly dresses serving them food.
Okay.
Maid cafe.
Should we interrupt during her shift, or should we wait till she's on a break?
I think it might be a good idea to at least introduce ourselves.
Okay.
We don't really know what she looks like, I don't think. So
Well, that's easy.
it's
You just
entirely possible
just
she's not here.
yell out the name Mary and see who looks at you.
Would you like to test this theory, Joe?
That is an option.
This is Elliot's chaos side coming out, not Joe's actual pragmatic, sensible side.
Mhm.
Or we could just ask a boss or something.
Well, if
all right.
anything, we can go inside and maybe get a snack or like a cup of coffee or tea or something. I don't know.
That's a good idea. I could go for some, just like kebabs, but I could go for a drink. Okay, let's find a table.
Okay, you're gonna walk inside.
Mm-hmm.
All right, as soon as you walk in, a very bubbly, gnomish woman is standing up at a hostess counter. Oh, hello! Welcome in to the Crab's Claw. How can I help you three today?
If you have a table available for 3.
Oh, yes, let me look. She's looking down at a page that they've marked up. Yes, I think I can fit you in the back corner. Let me just clear off that table, and I'll get you seated right away. She
Thank you.
starts making her way down. Lots of frills in this dress. It's so poofy. There is no gnome body in this. It's just fluff. She goes off to clear a spot. There's a couple patrons sitting around. Yes, looks to be just a couple. There's a couple high-end looking ladies sitting there having their tea. Couple businessmen discussing things in the corner. Nothing nefarious seems to be happening here.
While we're being escorted over to our table, I'd like to say, by any chance, is your name Mary?
No, sir. My name is Lillian. That's my name. Yes, Lillian. Is there a specific waitress that you normally have help your table? Maybe I can go get her?
Yes, please.
Okay, what was the name?
Mary Stevens.
Mary Stevens. Oh, yes, I can go get Mary for you. Do you have a name that I can give her, just so she knows? Because, we have a lot of customers, and sometimes you like to prep beforehand if you know what their favorites are.
I guess we can just call ourselves the Scrambling Claw. She'll probably be able to. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead and let her know that. Just let her know that Kitty's here.
Kitty. All right. It sounds delightful. All right, I'll go get her. You three sit here. And then she'll be right out. She saunters away.
Kitasha sits down, exhales. Let's hope she knows a kitty.
Well, that's why I said Scrambling Claw, because I thought maybe she'd be. Oh yeah, that I put in a request for some help and stuff, and so that's probably where that's come from. Oh well.
I don't know. We don't know if she did. We know that she's one of the victims, but we don't know if she wanted to be. If she was part of the. Yeah.
Well, it'll probably be fine.
Yep, I believe in us. Power of friendship.
Yeah, you sit there a little while, and then eventually you see. Let's see who is our next woman again?
Who's her next victim?
Yes. It is you see a owlin, otherwise known as the Owl Peoples. I love them. Walks out. She is in a very large, floofy, bright blue dress. And she's walking up to your table, looking a little confused and scanning each of your faces. Desperately, you realize, Kitasha, trying to remember who you are, because as you would know too, if a patron is like, oh yes, I'm your usual, and you don't know who they are, that can go very poorly. She gets up to your table. Hello, it's good to see you again. How can I help you today?
Yes, it has been a while. Kitasha is just like cranking up the charm. It has been a while. We have been out of town on business for several months now, and we just needed a taste of home.
Yes, of course, of course. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just had this thing happen to me the other day, and it's kind of scrambled my brain a little bit. Do you remember what your usuals are, or since you've been out of town for so long, would you like a menu to look over?
Oh, a menu would be lovely. Thank you.
All right. Yes, of course, of course. And she quickly hurries over, grabs 3 menus, and brings them back to you.
You said something scrambled your brain. Is everything okay?
Oh, yes, I just had a run-in with a mugger a week or so ago. It was, a bit startling at times.
Oh, well, that sounds exciting. You should tell us all about it. Over some cake, of course. And Gitashi hides her face.
Oh, I see. You 3 are from Scrambling Claw. Yes.
Yep.
Hey,
Okay,
the deceit was their idea. I'll have no part in this.
she giggles like I do. Like, oh, don't worry. You should have just said something. I would have come and talked to you. My break is in like 15 minutes, so I can come get you. I can go get you guys that stuff. I didn't put the request in, but I had just sent my complaints to the military, but they didn't really do much with it, so I think someone else went through and put in the guild request. But I will be back with some things if you want to look at the menu really quick. Just whatever you like, I'll get it started, and then I can come out here on my break and inform you guys of what I know.
All right, thank you. That sounds like a plan.
Kitasha is like, yep, sounds good.
Yeah, what can I get started for you? Or would you anything strike your fancies? Anything you could think of being at a classic tea and cake shop is here.
Okay, is it all like crab themed?
Yeah, crab juice,
There is
crab
a
coffee.
handful. It's funny because it seems to be a lot of things. While there's not actually crab ingredients, it is a lot of crab claw shaped things, or like macarons in the shape of crabs, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have bear claws and they cross out the word bear and just put crab.
Yes. You do notice that on the dresses, you realize there are small little, prints of crab claws. Yes, let me just get it. I understand if you've not been here before. Is there any flavors that you guys like, and I could just pick you out something?
Just ginger and lemongrass for me.
All right. And for you 2 ladies?
Whatever's the special of the day, I guess.
Alrighty, a special.
Mm-hmm.
And how about for you, Kitty?
I would love a selection of the smoked salmon scones. If you still have any more of those.
Yeah, I think we still got some.
And I would like to do an insight check against her to see what items she might like and have that ordered to come out with her when she's on her break.
Alrighty, go for it.
Finally, that's a nat 20 for a total of 25.
There are some lemon and poppy seed cakes. You think she'd like that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and can we also get an order of the lemon and poppy seed cakes as well?
Certainly, I can go get that started for you. She wanders back off.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a couple minutes to yourselves while she goes and preps your food to come out on her break, if you'd like to spend any time talking together. Don't mind me.
That's it. If I can,
I was
yeah. Sorry, go on.
no. Kitash is just gonna be like after the menu's done, after like a couple beats of silence. I thought we were doing really good with the whole like secret spy mission thing.
Pretty smooth. She just got a she got lucky and kind of figured us out pretty easily. But I think we were doing good. We were very subtle.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and correct any of that.
I'm imagining Mako's just poker face, staring not at either of them, just at a wall.
Just between them,
Yeah.
that ear flicker.
This is what you get when you have someone with negative charisma and someone with very positive charisma, and neither of them having any wisdom. This is the outcome.
No, Kitasha has very high wisdom,
You have wisdom? Oh no.
very low intelligence.
Okay, we're just trading stats. That's fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does anyone have good charisma?
Kitasha,
Yeah, gosh, does. Okay, so
charisma and wisdom are her top.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I need it for my casting.
Right. I'm just realizing that I'm 100% head of this group.
Listen, what do you need for the perfect group? You need the hot one, you need the strong one, and you need the smart one. And I think we got it on lock.
Sounds like we the nerd, the jock, and the cheerleader or something.
How do you feel knowing Mako's the jock?
Mako's the himbo. I mean, let's be real.
the Kronk of the group.
Oh.
If I can ask a fairly large question, I mean, do either of you have an end goal for the guild? Like, are either of you looking to progress to a certain point, or are you looking to achieve something specific within the guild?
When I came to the guild, I was mainly just looking for a fresh start. The business I had, well, metaphorically burned to the ground, not literally. So without the safety of the location, it was not viable. So I had to kind of go into something else.
Is this wasn't necessarily a life plan? It was just something you've fallen into.
Well, most of orc culture is about adapting. It's not about finding a spot and not moving. Because if you fight against the sea, you're just going to get tired.
I've never been to the sea, so sorry. That metaphor is lost on me. But
Tasha's making the same pull away face.
But it's far away. At least I don't know, a few miles or something. Some long distance of measurement.
This is the British coming out of Elliot.
It's like a couple miles away, right?
Well, I know it's not on the map, but if I remember correctly, Dragonbrook is a coastal city.
Yep, never been. I'm doubling down.
Okay, let me see when Ulam is back in town. We'll get you your sea stomach, and we'll get you out into the water, and Hercules will be fine.
Yeah, the entirely metal dog.
He'll be fine.
Okay. And what about you, Mako? Was this guild a are you looking for something specific, or are you just trying to it's just a stepping stone?
I was extremely bored with the and I needed something that could stimulate me again. Basically, what it is. This works for now. I'm intrigued that there are characters from my past who are missing. That's intriguing. But mostly, I'm just trying to get back into the game.
I hope between the last few missions we've done, I hope that you're finding them entertaining enough compared to civilian life.
Oh, definitely. Alright.
Why did I suddenly get a deception check from Mako?
You can do with that as you will.
I'm waiting for it to load, actually.
Insight check.
I think Joe just fully believes, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay, David, what did you roll? Because it literally will not load yours. It loaded Kitasha's.
Mm-hmm.
My side,
or has your deception still not gone through?
No, it's come through on my side, and I don't see Kitasha's though.
Yeah, yours is still a ... on mine.
I'm gonna reload my see what happens.
Oh, okay, here it is. Here we go. Okay, you got a 16. Kitasha got an 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mako 100%. The characters from her past are 100% why she's in the guild. Her being bored was just an excuse. That's 100% it. I think everyone was there when we were talking about when what's his name guild leader was his name revealed that all of us had all of us had people from our in a group that went missing, and that's 100% what Mako's about.
Yeah, that was the conversation a mission ago when you got back from the water. 2 missions ago.
Yeah.
2 missions ago.
Yeah, so...
All right, as Kitasha is looking... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was to say that 18 is probably Kitasha connecting the dots between Mako kindly mentioning, the people, and then the two different people that came up in that conversation that from Mako's history.
Mm-hmm.
Right. As you're thinking about that, suddenly, out with a bunch of trays lined up on her arms, comes out Mary. And she's like, alrighty. And let me just set these down. She sets each little platter down. Takes the apron off the front of her dress, kind of folds it up, plops herself down in a seat. All right, so this is the Spring Hill Jack fellow, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, what information can I give you?
Well, first, I need to make sure and check with myself that you lemon poppy seed. And Katasha's going to push the lemon poppy seed over to Mary.
Oh, how insightful of you. Yes, these are my favorite. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You can also take one. We weren't just taunting you with them.
Oh, aren't you the sweetest thing?
Yes. So, anyway, I guess first of all, we might want to corroborate with what we've understood so far. So, how would you describe this figure's appearance that mugged you?
Well, when I saw him, he had something on his hands that I guess kind of like claws, and he shredded my new dress I had gotten. But he had kind of a boorish face. From what I could see, like really deep gray color, looked like his nose had been broken before, and he had these really big teeth.
When you say boorish, are you referring to the word boorish, or are you referring to like appears like a boar?
Yes, both.
Okay.
So just like a boring pig.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
It's quite rude, honestly. He took my coin purse and startled me and then leapt off. Quite rude, and that brand new dress I had.
Definitely sounds boorish. Okay. And so, did this figure appear to want money from you?
Yeah, he just stole my bag after leaping out at me. He growled at me a little bit, but that was about it. He grabbed my bag and then leapt away.
Hmm. All right, we're just trying to piece the information together, so please excuse if any of us are stuck thinking. You wouldn't happen to assume that this was targeted? Did you think this was just a random happenstance? You don't think this person was specifically going for you and your bag?
Not really, unless he was some customer that accidentally slipped like more money than he meant to on a tip, but
Okay.
no, I don't think so.
And this a boar-like face, do you believe this to be skin and bone, or is this a mask?
No, I didn't. I mean, it was at night. I couldn't tell you for sure. I mean, it looked like a face, but
Okay.
it was pretty dark.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, just took my bag. And while he did, his stupid claw things caught my dress, shredded parts of the skirt, and then he just leapt on top of a building and left. It was quite rude.
This jumping seems to be the only consistent thing about these two stories. Hmm. Does anyone else have any other questions that spring to mind? No pun intended.
Bring to mind. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you hear any did this Jack try and speak to you at all or shout at you?
No, he made kind of a like grumbling sound, like someone trying to imitate an animal growling, but that was about it.
Interesting. Seems very odd.
Why, that's how I felt.
Hmm.
I was the first person that ran into this thing, at least according to the, reports. Seems like he's gussied up his routine, though, with all the fire talk I've been hearing. He didn't do that with me.
Hmm. And
It
if
does
it's
sound
not
like
too
an odd
personal,
question. Oh, sorry.
go, David.
Do you remember anything about his legs?
Oh, his legs. David, go ahead and give me a investigation check.
And I can add a D8 to that. Alright, that's only a 13. Still something.
They seemed a bit bulky for the size. Again, it was quite dark, but yeah, from the looks of it, they seemed a little bulkier than I would expect of someone of that figure. Because, I mean, like I said, the face was very boorish and quite large, but their body, from what I could tell, again, they wore like a cloak. But what I could see, they seemed quite thin. But their legs, from the calf down, I want to say, was a bit bulkier than I would expect.
The calf down.
I know it's not very helpful. I wasn't.
No, that's actually kind of helpful. Because we were speculating whether or not this person had enhanced legs or augmented legs, but I don't think you'd be able to get that kind of jumping ability without replacing the entire leg. If, just from my understanding of it.
Well, that could be. I'm glad I could help.
This points to either some kind of creature that we don't recognize, or something else going on with his legs.
Yeah. Don't really know. Ugly looking thing, though.
Maybe one final question, if no one else has any other thoughts, is about your bag. If it's not too personal a question, I'm wondering if there was anything specific inside that the assailant was after, or if was there anything that you note in particular that you lost? Was it just money?
No, it's just money.
Okay.
That's what I had left over after I had gone. specifically to a fashion show, showing off all these new dresses. Same one I got the one I was wearing at. And it was what was left over after buying my new dress.
Wait 1 second. Mute.
This is fine. Mako has suddenly begun standing and staring at a wall in the corner, vacantly.
You
As one does.
taking inspiration from the amazing digital circus. He's just like glitched out for a second of the world that we're in.
Just clipping through.
Mary, are you aware that none of us are real?
Mary, having existential crisis, suddenly turns into a T-posed figure.
Mhm. Sinks through the floor.
Sorry about that. Work was trying to call me in for tomorrow.
You.
Gross.
Apparently,
Did you tell them no?
yeah, I did because I don't want to get 4 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Would they really call you at like midnight, or past midnight, or whatever?
I mean they just called me because the other person called out, and if I were to go to bed immediately right now, I'd have to wake up in 5 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, they would and they can, but I said no.
Mhm.
Yoinks. Okay. And as suddenly Mako spawns back into her spot at the table instead of over at the corner.
All right.
Was there anything else I could help you with?
I think that's everything for now. We'll certainly let you know if
Um,
we think of any other questions.
Other than his face
Mhm.
and his calves, can you tell us any other physical descriptions of him?
He wore like a really large, it was like a cloak or a trench coat or something like that. It obscured a lot of his body. I couldn't really see. I think the thing was it was so dark. You might have more luck with one of the gals that he spit fire at, I guess is what they said he did. They might have had more light to actually see.
Okay. And he was taller than you, correct?
Yeah, I'd say so.
By like,
Not hugely, but taller.
okay. Okay.
Well,
Well,
I'll probably leave you in peace, but thank you for the information, and sorry this happened to you.
Well, thank you for that. Alright, I'm gonna take the last of my cakes here, and I'll go get you guys your bill, and we'll be all set here, and I'll go head back to work. You guys feel free to enjoy your cakes and such as long as you'd like, and your scones.
okay.
I'll
Thank
be
you very
off.
much.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Magically, a page appears at the table.
That's
Mhm.
cool.
Okay. What's the damage?
It's like 5 gold.
That is a lot of damage.
It is a lot of damage. This is a fancy shop.
Mhm. It's 5 years worth of damage.
Are
But Kitachi's gonna pay it.
you
Yeah,
sure?
Kitasha's got that gambling money.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. All right, thank you. All right, so I guess we should probably say the obvious that it sounds like two separate people or somebody wearing a mask or disguise maybe, or that something doesn't add up other than the jumping. It could also be two separate people. Um, There's something amiss here. Also, one of them is just almost accidentally scaring a woman. Another one is just a purse snatcher. This doesn't seem to make sense to me.
Yeah, and I think we definitely need to hear a testimony of the third victim because, I mean, a disguise is always possible. Like there are spells that can change the way you look, but maybe because this was the first, the Jack might have like tried to like turn up his like fear factor, maybe just to like lean into the legend. Maybe he thought that could be an advantage. I don't know.
Perhaps. So yeah, maybe they're going around switching disguises just to try and spook the local populace.
Yeah.
Could be a Fae related thing as well. Mustn't rule that out. All right. Maybe we should go to Jane's house before the night is out, and the day is out rather, and see what she knows.
That's fair.
Cool.
Alrighty. With your bill paid, you can go ahead and go meet back up with your Thrycreen out parked outside, ready to go. Hand reaching back into the cab where you all sit. Just waiting.
5. I'll pass on the address of Jane Alsop.
The Thrycreen takes it, looks at it, passes it back to you, and speeds off once again. Someday, Joe, you'll get used to this. But today is not that day. You are jolted a little bit as you're driving, like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah. I think this whole automobile thing is just a phase. I honestly don't think it's gonna last. I think people will be back to horses anytime soon.
Chittering from up front. You don't understand it. Oh.
Hey. Something upset her.
Alright. It does not take you long to get to Jane's house. She is pretty close by, once again. Northern end. It's a very... Compared to the more mansion-y looking stuff around, she has a very, small house, kind of tucked away in a corner. Very pristine, white and blue, with a lot of, the lacy details along the house. It stands out a little bit because so much of the town is a orange and copper and all things metal. Her little house is tucked away there. And we have a dog. Beautiful.
This is Hercules.
Welcome, Carmi. Carmi is now playing the role of Hercules. Most excellent. But yeah, your Thrycreen parks you out front, and you can go ahead and do as you please.
Knock on the door with a fun pattern, so that the person knows that we're fun.
One moment! And soon the door is opened by a tabaxi woman. She's got a silver and dark gray striped pattern in her fur. She's in a very simple black and white dress. Same sort of Edwardian style you've seen with some of the upper class women. But very simple comparatively to theirs. You think she's probably not as wealthy as the rest of the people she's living around, but she probably has a decent paying job up here. Yes, how can I help you today?
We are looking for one Jane Alsop regarding an investigation on Spring-Heeled Jack.
Oh, okay, that's me. Would you like to come in?
If that is okay.
Yes. Come on. Are you hungry? Would you like any tea? Cookies?
We already ate.
Oh, all right. No worries then. And she leads you in. There's doilies everywhere. Everything has a doily. Everything is soft and plush, and she leads you to this large couch that you're looking at it a little bit, thinking, how do I get back out of it when I sit down?
Yes, I think Joe
Let's have a tea.
Joe is a little bit overwhelmed by the opulence compared to what he's used to, especially now that his house is burned down. This is different.
Me unconsciously giving Joe more trauma. Woo!
Yeah. Either that or we're getting an insight into Michaela's ideal house. Woodies everywhere.
No. Only a handful of doilies.
All right. We've thanks for being willing to speak with us. We've spoken to two of the other victims of this figure, and we wanted to get your opinion and perspective, and perhaps a statement as well.
Yes, of course. Certainly. Where would you like me to begin?
I guess a description of the assailant, perhaps the story of what happened, wherever you like.
Okay. Well, I work as a maid around this area. I had been returning home probably a little under a week ago. It was late. A decent cleaning job for one of the larger estates here. When a man leapt out and shoved me back and stole my purse. And I was startled by the man. I tried to flee home, and it chased after me for a little bit, but then my sister had been staying the night that day, and she had opened the door hearing me call out, and he seemed quite afraid when there was two of us. Yeah, in regards to his face or his description, his face looked like if you've ever met a bugbear, it looked like a bugbear to me. It didn't really fit the rest of his body. He seemed to be quite willowy, I think. But he had these bright, flaming eyes that were just so very bright it was hard to see around them. And there were a couple times while he was chasing me that I saw him spitting out blue fire. But not very much, but a little bit.
Okay. And sorry, do you happen to? You don't have to answer this if you're not comfortable, but do you happen to work at the Crab's Claw Cafe?
I do not know.
Right. Just trying to piece the information together.
I'm a cleaning maid.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a waitress at one of those establishments. I'm a cleaner.
Okay. And I guess was it nighttime or daytime?
It was night.
Right. Okay. It sounds Like there's some consistencies, but other things missing.
Hmm.
Oh, was anything in particular stolen from you that was in the bag?
What was my earnings from the day? That was it.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else? I look at the group just to see if anyone else has any questions off the top of their head.
Nope. And real talk, I'm pretty sure you guys could notice I have been very quickly fading the past
That's
5
okay. We can end a little bit early tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't want to start snoring into the microphone during an immediate interrogation.
And
Any
so
questions from Mako or anything? Oh,
this was the second of the attacks.
yes.
So it sounds like they're turning up the theatrics with each subsequent attack.
Hmm.
So I think this has to be someone leaning into, some of the rumors, or just leaning into something.
I did hear that a couple of more people attacked. Oh, I forgot to mention when he fled, he launched himself into the air and onto one of the neighboring buildings before running away.
Hmm.
It's quite a feat of agility.
Do you notice anything weird about his legs? It's an odd question, I know.
Hmm. It might not be his legs, but when he was chasing after me, I heard a lot of sounds of shifting metal.
Okay.
A lot of clanging, and maybe there was a. Now that I think about it, there was a bit of a sputtering sound before he leapt.
Okay. All right. I think I'm starting to piece together. His legs can't be augmented because, as far as I understand, augmented limbs are far more precise than to cause clanking sounds when moving. So I'm kind of guessing it might be more something attached to his legs.
It could be a
Have
bad
either
or
of
a
you
badly
ever
done job.
Joe, have you ever seen or come across any kind of non-replacement augmentation? I have to imagine that might be something that's come up, as another possibility. But have you ever come across anything like that?
Have I? That is a good question. That's maybe back to the DM. Is that something that I might have come across?
Okay, what do you mean by your phrasing?
External, is that what you mean, David? Like an
Like-
exoskeleton?
Yeah, ways to enhance someone without replacing their body parts, just as a custom armor that has enhancements built in, kind of thing.
I know you're asking Joe, and Joe can go ahead and give me a what's a good check for this?
Performance. No, maybe history
No.
or
I mean performance if it was still.
I mean, I was kind of
Actually,
thinking it could be
genuinely,
Arcana to be the possibility of it. I don't know.
Yeah, Arcana for you, Joe. And Mako, while you're saying this, give me a history check with advantage.
Nice.
Right.
I got a 25 on the old Arcana.
Nice. I'm gonna wait for
I held
a...
6.
Oh, man.
Rolled a 6
With
and a
advantage?
2.
Mako.
Oh no!
Mako.
Do you have any more superiority die?
I can, but that will only add a D8, and
You-
it won't be enough.
You didn't need to roll high. You don't
Maybe the
need
D8
to
will
roll
make
high,
it.
Mako.
I'll try rolling the
I'm gonna
D8. Let's see what I get.
It's gonna be 8. It's
Isn't
gonna
it?
be 8.
Okay.
I can feel it.
14 then.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay, I'm gonna start with Joe, and then I'm gonna get to you, Mako. Yeah, Joe, you do recall that you didn't really specialize in it, but there are a lot of different little mechanical things you can, use to kind of give yourself a boost, or, kind of like some detailed, like, not leg augmentation, but like different bracers and such like that you can think of that added a couple things to people. But nothing too extreme that you can think of. But Mako, you're saying this out loud. And then you remember Valos exists. And then you remember that Valos made something for you back when you were working together that really, it attached to your legs. And it gave you quite a bit of a boost to your jump. But Valos had taken them back before Gargoyle got disbanded because he was going to do a couple, improvements on it. But you're realizing just how familiar this person's jump, along with a weird sputtering sound, as you realize
Guys, I
that
act of no. Hold up. No, guys. Saying this out loud, I know how he's doing the jumps.
Okay.
We need to track down. I had a friend back when I worked in the military. He was this lizard folk, blue genius. Like created inventions that I didn't think were possible. He built a set of like bracers, but for your legs, and he had it so you could load it with black powder, so that you could you could ignite the black powder to give you a boost while you're jumping. I know how carbon heavy black powder is. That would explain the blue flame.
Okay.
There's no other person who would have come up with this kind of thing, and I just know it has to be. If we can track down my friend, old friend Valos, he might be able to give us a lead on where these boosters went.
Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense. And it does fit in with my earlier theory that you were in some way involved in this.
He was right.
Jane is sitting there like,
a deal. So okay, that sounds very promising. Did you happen to know if this Valos would still be in the city?
And if they like ducks?
I don't think I've seen Valos since. Like, I hadn't met him. Right? I think. I don't think Mako knows where Valos is.
hey, Joe,
Hmm.
can you give me a history check?
Let's do it. Um, 24.
Excellent. All right, David, can you give a description of Valos really quick? Just
He's
because I don't have his photo on hand.
he's a crocodile skink lizard folk.
Uh-huh.
So he's brown with the orange eyes. I'll drop a pic of him in the chat just a second. Do load. I know.
So while we're getting the image of Valos, Joe, you remember a little lizard folk when you were doing your entrance exam into the guild that you remember who just didn't seem to care at all for what you guys were actually doing and was just tinkering by himself in the corner, just seeming to be having fun with it. But you don't even know if he was. You think he might have just been there to, like, borrow their tools? Because you never remember seeing him again after it, but you're pretty sure that the guy you saw there matches the description of this person that Mako knows.
Okay.
But, you might double check.
I'll relay this to the group and say maybe a conversation with Kiza would be appropriate, or someone who allows people into the guild, maybe, to try and track down this. I think I've met him.
Yeah. That'll make things a lot easier.
Yeah, and with that in mind, just so that Anna, who's fading fast, can go to sleep, I think we will end the session there with the information that Valos is in the city.